Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode on this channel. In today's video, we are going to be reacting to Johnny Somali getting some prison time, some well-deserved prison time, man. But yeah, man, before we get into this, as always, the first link in the description, the goat of the video, it's a Tozy this time around. There'll be a link to his video. Go show him some love, subscribe to him, drop him a like, drop him a sub, all that good stuff. And also, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy what you see. Don't forget to drop a like on the video to encourage me to make more videos, and leave a comment with whatever the fuck you wanna comment, as long as you're not being a dickhead for the sake of being a dickhead. But yeah, man. With that being said, let's just get straight in and see what is going on with the Johnny Somali and how long he's actually gonna rot in prison for.
All right, so we just got out of the sentencing for Johnny Somali, and he was arrested on the spot and taken out back. He was handcuffed, and now he's currently being processed.
Finally,
right
bro, it took
in
us
Seoul,
long
South
enough
Korea.
to get him
So we have a
arrested,
crazy
man.
video for you guys.
As of right now, this might be one of the slowest yet most preventable creator train wrecks that I've ever seen in my life. This dude has received so many chances to essentially change his life path and not be a complete burden to society, but still, he continues to double down with his behavior. This guy is essentially actively choosing to destroy his life for some attention online. Like, imagine having the arrogance to fly out to random countries and harass their citizens for profit. The dude went to court in Japan and ended up in jail for 3 months before they finally let him go. And
Bro, you know what the funny thing is? Like, I feel like Japan took a massive L. Like, I can understand, like, they're probably just fed up with him, and, they were like, bro, you know what, let's just fucking ban this guy and just move on with our lives. But, like, it's funny to me, like, it's funny to laugh at, not with Johnny Somali on this one, right? Or in general, really. It's funny to me how, like, after he got away, basically scot-free from Japan, he went online and then he started bragging and saying like, yeah, I just lied to the judge, like, fuck that guy, bro. Like, hey, I just told him, I said to him, I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna post videos again, like, this and that, like, fucking loser type shit, you know what I mean? It's wild to me, bro. If I was Japan, I would be like, you know what, we're getting this guy back, and he's serving his full sentence, harshest sentence. Like, he just admitted to lying under the oath, basically, right? And, he's making a mockery of out of our court system, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a massive L for Japan. But it's also funny, because, Japan, like, even Japan not doing anything about it, like, it was kind of predictable that he will end up in jail at some point. And then, he went to Israel. He got scared by the police there, and he fucked off to South Korea. And then in South Korea, once again, he's been acting like so wild, like he was wilding the fuck out, like he was like next level, bro. Like, it's like he prestiged, and then you know what I mean. He's like retarded behavior just got like fucking 2 times buff type shit, you know what I'm saying? And Korea took his passport away, and he was like, yeah, suck it, loser. You ain't leaving this country, until you do your time and all that stuff. And, he was then making fun of the judge in South Korea as well, because someone made a complaint to the police about Johnny Somali, like, saying that they were feeling threatened by him when he was, like, fucking around with a fish. I believe he was fucking around with a fish in a train. I could be wrong, but I know this was one of the things that he did in South Korea. He was like fucking around with a fish and like basically harassing random people on the streets or on the train. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure Atozi will show that clip. I'm guessing anyway, because it was part of the trial. And given that he's talking about the trial, I'm curious if he'll bring that up. But anyway, he was like fucking around with a fish and annoying people. And the judge read him, and it was like, yeah, so this is another charge we have towards you, because you're like harassing people with a fish, and people were feeling threatened. And then Johnny Somali went live with his retarded ass friend. And he was like, yeah, fuck that judge, bro. He was saying he was feeling threatened by a fish. man, I'm gonna bring that fish to his house, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, how fucking retarded do you have to be to say that shit, man? You should just shut the fuck up, bro. How is your lawyer not beating the living fuck out of you in his office, bro, for not shutting the fuck up? You know what I mean? It's like, it's wild to me. Like, and honestly, at the same time, if I was his lawyer, I'll be like, there is no point, bro. Like, no matter what I try to do, he's just gonna undo it. So I'm just gonna pretend like I give a shit and pretend like I do my best, you know, with this job, and just ask a question every now and again, so he doesn't get sussed out. And then when he gets sent to prison, I get easy money off him. Because honestly, bro, just think about it as a lawyer, right? Like, you trying to save this guy from going to prison, and no matter what you do, he just makes it 100 times worse. He undoes what you did, and he makes it 100 times worse, bro. Like, he just can't shut the fuck up. He can't stop acting like a retarded ass monkey, bro. Like, this is primitive behavior, bro. Like, the clip with him eating fucking noodles and just throwing that shit in the shop and pouring the water in the shop, and him laughing like a retard, like, so funny. Like, this is primitive, retarded ass behavior. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know what I mean? It's like, there's no point in even trying to save this guy, because he's too much of a retard. He's generally more useful in jail when he's forced to work than being free. Like,
Apparently, they let him go because he was actively lying to the judge. And this person obviously is the IRL streamer by the name of Johnny Somali. And yet, after doing all of that, when he got out of the Japanese jail after being stuck there for 3 months, he didn't take it as a massive wake-up call to get his life together. No, he chose to double down by publicly bragging about how he lied to the judge.
I lied to the judge. The lawyer said, lie to the judge and apologize, say that you're sorry. I don't give a Chinese. All I told is, I said, hey, yo, I'll never make a YouTube video again. I'll never.
Yeah, so smart.
And essentially,
on
he
you
thought
to
he
make
was
that live
completely
stream, bro.
invincible. So he decided to go to Israel, of all places, right after he got out from Japan. And there, he repeated the exact same formula. He harassed a bunch of strangers on the street, and then, of course, got detained, and then he got scared by the police, and he ended up fleeing the country. Why did he flee the country? Well, he thought he was going to be stuck there like he was in Japan. But, again, he didn't take this as a wake-up call. No, he continued re-rolling. So, next up, he went to South Korea. And in South Korea, he was way worse than what he was in the other countries. He continued to harass the citizens, and he did things way out of line here. He bought a fish, he started shoving it in people's faces.
Oh yeah. So it was like a bus or a metro or something like that.
He did things way out of line here. He bought a fish.
Yeah. What is that's like a bus or something like that. I mean, you guys get a point, right? Like, he was harassing people with a fucking fish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking brain dead behavior, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Fish. He started shoving it in people's faces. He had this weird crash out at 7-Eleven for no reason whatsoever. The woman was telling him to please leave, and instead he decided to do this.
Right to never have kids. Your right to your father was right. Oh.
Bro, that donation, man. Yo, honestly, bro, this donation, fucking legend, bro, to the guy that sent that donation. 1,000,000%, this guy's, this person is a guy. But honestly, $3 well wasted. Or well spent, actually. Since you're eating ramen with hot water, why don't you put the hot water down your pants to kill your sperm cells? That is wild, bro. That shit crazy, man. It's cheaper than a vasectomy. Your father was right. You should never have kids. Your father was right. Your father was right. Bro, that is wild, bro. Holy shit. Imagine getting called out like that on your own fucking stream, man. But honestly, what the fuck do you expect when you act like a fucking primitive retard, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Your right to your father was right. Oh.
And when the South Korean citizens got upset with him, he doubled down like he always does. But this time he went way out of line. So he found the Comfort Women statues, which are statues to honor the fallen female victims of World War II in South Korea here. And he decided to oil them up, and strip and dance on them. All for, I guess, a
Homie really wants to go to the P. Diddy party, bro. God damn. Listen, bro. We can forget everything that Johnny Somali did prior to this. Not even count it. You know, say everything that Johnny Somali did prior to the statues was erased. Bro, the statues alone is just like absolutely fucked up, bro. That's honestly, out of everything, that has to be the worst thing that he done in South Korea, bro. This is way out of line, bro. Like, this is just messed the fuck up, bro. Like, honestly, life in prison just for this, bro. That's crazy disrespect, bro. Especially not only to the victims, but to the country itself. Like, that's crazy ass disrespect, bro. That's crazy work. And fucking hell, bro. You should not be forgiven at all for this. Fuck everything else. Just for this alone, bro, you need to spend years in prison just for this alone.
attention on his stream and donations. So I mean, at this point, he thought it was super funny. He thought he can get away with anything. So just imagine the panic he had when South Korea essentially locked their borders for him and took away his passport. And then they tell him, no, you're not leaving the country until your entire trial is finished, you've served your time, and you've paid your fines. What's the sentence?
Good.
Well, we're about to find out. And obviously, this has been a long saga because, you know, in the past 18 months, Johnny's been trapped in South Korea. He essentially arrived thinking that he could exploit a polite, high-trust society and entertain a fringe group of people who essentially want him to destroy his life. But instead,
that's
he triggered a nationwide manhunt.
People don't watch him because they enjoy his content. They're basically like hate watching him, you know what I mean? They watch him and they wait for him to ruin his life and to laugh at him. Like, nobody that's watching or was watching him, they were not watching him because he's like, oh my god, bro, I actually really like this streamer, bro. This guy is so fucking cool, and laughing with him when he was doing all this stupid shit. They were all laughing at him and waiting for him to fuck up so bad that he will like either spend life in prison or, you know, he will do some kind of jail time or he ruins his life completely. And guess what, bro? They got what they wished for. And I'm happy for the people that wish for that. And I'm happy that Johnny Somali is finally getting some fucking karma, bro. Well-deserved karma.
He got banned from every platform that pays him, went completely broke, and then managed to catch 8 separate criminal charges.
Oh,
and currently, the prosecution is demanding
stack,
3 years of prison work labor and 5 years.
Wait. Hold on. Whoa, go back. Did you just say 3 years of prison?
And then managed to catch 8
Special act of SVC. We'll just say SVC, right? 2 counts. Maximum 10.5 years. Minor crime act, 2 counts. 30 days maximum. Oh, I see. He somehow dodged the bullet on the first 2. Oh, no. Never mind. That's his plea. Sorry, that's his plea. So he's got 2 SVC counts. He's got 2 minor crimes. I'm guessing that's probably, I don't fucking know, like littering or some goofy shit like that. If I was to guess, like, I would say that's probably a minor crime. Like, I don't know, because 30 days, like, you know, even if you want to consider, like, I don't know, robbing the store for a piece of bread, you know, it's a minor crime. I still feel like you might get more than 30 days for that. Interference of business, 4 counts, and all of those 4 carry 5 years maximum. Oh, I have a feeling like he somehow managed to dodge the first 2 counts, the SVC counts. Otherwise, I don't understand. How the fuck do you only get 3 years? Like, that's nothing, bro. Bro, what? He fucking played you guys. How the fuck how does he get only 3 years? I don't know. To me, that seems very, very short. I don't know. Maybe it's a hot opinion. Maybe I don't fucking know what to say. But I feel like that shit is way too short. I would have bro, lowest of lowest, bro, 5 years minimum. And I'll be like, that's still too low, but it's acceptable, you know. And that's if he managed to get rid of the first two counts that he got where he can get 10 up to 10.5 years. But I don't know, man. Fuck, bro, that's another L for the court system. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Fuck, bro. 3 years. Fuck. Although I do wonder something, because I know. Wait, hold on, no. I don't think Johnny Somali was in prison, right, throughout the entire trial. I think he was free. If I remember correctly, he wasn't in prison. He was actually free to roam the streets. Which, again, why the fuck did the court think that was a good idea? But anyway, oh, actually, I have a clue why. Because maybe they were hoping that he would do some more retarded shit and they can get him for even more charges. That would make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think he was free. I don't think he was held in prison. And if so, if he was held in prison, is say he was held in prison, right? He spent like the last like 2 years, something like that, in prison, like a year, 2 years. Is that gonna run concurrent, or is it got like the 3 years that he got now? Is it gonna run concurrent with the time, or sorry, not concurrent? Is it going to get time served, or is that like separate? Like it was like, all right, you spend 1 year in prison or 2 years or however the fuck, right? But you still got another like 3 years. We find you guilty, and you're gonna have to do another 3 years. Like, is that how it's gonna work, or is it going to get time served? And if you spend like say 1 year in prison, out of those three, he would just have to do two. Even bro, I don't know, man. What the fuck? 3 years? That seems hella low, bro. That seems hella low, bro. Especially for a repeat offender. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, guys, like he fucked up once and, he realized he's a fucking moron and he woke the fuck up. No, he's a repeat offender, bro. And somehow he got away with another slap on the wrist.
Separate criminal charges. And currently the prosecution is demanding 3 years of prison work labor and 5 years on the S offender registry here in South Korea. So today we're taking a look at how the internet's most hated IRL streamer dug his own grave live on camera. But to understand how he got here, we kind of have to look at the playbook, because essentially his business model relied on traveling to strict high-trust nations, places like Japan and eventually South Korea, and there he just acted like a complete parasite. His job is essentially being a burden to society. He tested the limits of Japan, he spent 3 months in jail there, ended up leaving the country, went to Israel, definitely tested the waters there, fled that country, and then eventually went to South Korea. And obviously, when he landed in South Korea, he got a bit reckless.
And the chaos really started when we found soju. He just became a drunken mess off of this. I am not here for the soju, though. See, what I got was the water. This is my shaker cup because I'm gonna make some gamer subs. Be a shout out Gamer Subs for sponsoring this.
Alright, listen, bro. You go get your bag with Gamer Subs, bro. I'm not gonna listen to that. Sorry, bro. But I got a question. I got a genuine question, right? Why the fuck, out of all places you could have went to, why the fuck did you go to Asian countries where they're strict as fuck, bro? Like, why the fuck didn't you do this shit in America? Because he's American, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Johnny Somalia, fucking hell. Johnny Somali is American, right? Because I'm pretty sure he was like shouting out for Donald Trump to like help him or some shit like that, like years ago with his Japan case, right? Or am I mistaken? But yeah, and say is not, right? What the fuck would you go to a place like America where the rules are are less strict, they're a bit more lenient, right? And you will go to a place like Japan or South Korea, out of all fucking places, South Korea, bro. Like, how did you think that through, bro? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, he just picked the worst fucking spawn point ever.
Website and claim your free samples. But without further ado, let's continue the video.
The dude treated the country like it was a GTA server for his own entertainment. And I guess he just thought it was all funny, edgy content, but rightfully so, the people of South Korea were appalled. So they then launched their own crowdsourced bounty program for him. And they called him the Golden Goblin, and they are essentially giving away 10 million won, or Korean won, which is roughly $6,000 to $7,000.
Damn! What the fuck? I didn't even know about this, bro. I went to South Korea just to find this guy, bro. 6 racks? I mean, I'll do it for free, honestly. Like, I'll find him and beat the fuck out of him for free. And then turn him into the police station, you know what I mean? I'll tell the guys, like, nah, you keep the money. It's all good. But damn, bro, six racks, like 7 racks, like that's not bad, bro. That's fuck it out. It was quite a high target, man.
Yes, I hate that's the exchange rate. But essentially, he was labeled the Golden Goblin or Golden Goose because if you punched him, you got loot. And the crazy part of all this is so many of the people who actually found him in...
Bro, that's a wild ass bar, bro. If you punch him, you get loot, bro. He drops his inventory. God damn, bro.
Ended up reaching out to me, and I even interviewed Jung Do, who was one of the guys who punched him in the face. But the first people who found him, they didn't want to be on camera, but they did tell me the story of how they found him, which I thought was pretty crazy. Because remember a few years ago, you had the whole situation with Andrew Tate getting arrested, and people were speculating that he got arrested because of a pizza box. Well, Johnny was found because of a pizza box, because they saw the name of the pizza place and they decided to go to every single location of that franchise and ask them, hey, have you seen this man? Did he just buy a pizza from you guys? And they showed a picture of him. When they finally got confirmation that he had actually been to one of these locations, they realized, okay, we know what neighborhood he's staying in. So then one of them was watching his live stream while a bunch of the other guys were running around the neighborhoods screaming. And I guess they were just playing this 1-hour game of hotter and colder, where one guy was listening to see if he could hear any of the guys yelling. And when he finally heard one of them yelling, they were like, okay, we can hear it now. Let's see if it gets louder. So, I mean, there was just an insane amount of dedication there. But while Johnny was being hunted for sport, I guess, punches were the least of his problems, because while all of this was happening, the Korean government was slowly building a cage around him. So in late 2024, the Korean police finally swooped in. But they didn't just give him a ticket. No, they took his passport, they slapped him with an obstruction of business charge for the 7-Eleven stunt. And at the time, Johnny was coping. He was saying, oh, it's not so serious at all. Look, I still have my passport. And then he was showing an emergency travel passport, which I don't think was the main passport he used to travel into Korea. But even if he used that passport to get into Korea, it's not like he could just leave the country, which is why him and his Discord group were trying to plot and figure out how he could sneak out of South Korea. And that's where you had that one moment where they were like, hey, you should just take the train out of Jeju, which does not make sense considering Jeju is an island. Then I think another one of his plans was taking a raft and live streaming himself, taking a raft out of South Korea, which obviously wouldn't have ended well. Either he would have been picked up by Coast Guard or he would be at the mercy of the ocean. But regardless, either he would have to illegally...
No. Bro, he should have went with the raft, bro. That would have been funny. That would have actually been an entertaining stream, bro. That would have been fucking entertaining. Why the fuck did he go with a plan, bro? He should have taken the raft, bro.
Enter North Korea or illegally enter China, which just doesn't sound like a good idea either. But honestly, this was just the start
bro.
of
To Johnny Somali, that's a legendary idea, bro. What the fuck do you mean, bro? We're talking about Johnny Somali, bro. He thought of that shit and he was like, what the fuck? How did I not think about this earlier? Yeah, let's do it. Sounds like a plan. You know what I mean? Like, he's so fucking retarded,
essentially,
man.
he's proven to the world that he's a parasite, but a parasite needs a host. And his host were the streaming platforms he was live streaming on. So what happens when the money printer turns off? Well, he was banned on basically every single platform that paid him. So now he's trapped in a very expensive country with high bills and no income. And the guy got so desperate in April of 2025 that he essentially stalked the streamer Ice Poseidon in real life and begged him to pull some strings to get his Kick account back.
Let's have a conversation. That's it.
There's nothing to talk. There's nothing to talk about. There's no peace to be made.
Listen, come on.
But I don't go around and harass the general public.
In what? Okay, listen. You might have me then. Okay, I'll give you that. But I honestly don't think I'm a bad person. I want to come back to Kick.com. I want to stream on Kick again. I want to move past this.
What is your goal here? You're trying to get him banned on Kick. It's not going to happen.
I mean, look at his eyes right there. That is the exact moment his reality shattered. Like, he isn't sorry for what he did to the Korean people. No, he's sorry that he can't monetize it anymore. I mean, even his last friend in Korea.
He's doing the same shit that he did in Japan, right? where he pretended that he was sorry and gave a fake apology, and then when he got let off the hook, he just went somewhere else and did the exact same thing. back from zero. Like, he's not sorry at all, bro. He's just desperate for money, bro.
Hank, he had to start begging online for donations because of how much of a burden Johnny was to him. But of course, just when you thought that Johnny hit rock bottom, no, of course he grabbed a pickaxe and just kept digging. Because
hell yeah,
at the
brother.
same time all of that happened, you have the entire courtroom circus, where essentially he just self-sabotaged his entire life. Because you would think, a guy who's facing a decade in foreign prison would, you know, put on a suit, be quiet enough to realize how serious the situation is, and beg for some mercy.
Wait, what wasn't that fuck, bro, the Johnny Somali lore is way too deep, bro. Wasn't that in South Korea where he showed up on like the first day of the trial in in a Trump hat or something retarded like that? Or was it Japan? I can't remember.
But no, not this guy. According to every legal professional I've talked to here in Korea, he did the wrong move. Because over the last year, Johnny faced 8 separate criminal charges. And he decided to plead guilty to 6 of them, but fight the 2 main ones. And those were the 2 big ones, which were 2 counts of distributing an 18-plus deepfake of a popular South Korean streamer named Bongbong and of another streamer by the name of Youngmong. Under Korean law, that carries a 7-year prison sentence. And this guy live stream himself doing it. And again,
wasn't it 10.5, bro? Didn't you just show 10.5 years maximum? Or are you giving like the average prison sentence?
Legal professional here in Korea said, by the name of Youngmong. Under Korean law, that carries a 7-year prison sentence. And
I mean, you're not saying like maximum of 7 years, but I mean, yeah, I think I'll give it the benefit of that. I think he either misspoke or he gave like a general, like, you know, what generally, like, the length of the sentence is.
Live stream himself doing it. And again, every legal professional here in Korea said, show remorse and actually apologize. And most likely, you would get a slap on the wrist and the judge would just deport you. But instead, it's safe to say he chose a very different legal route.
Fish and causing anxiety.
Causing anxiety by carrying a fish. Tell the judge you can suck my... I'll bring a fish to your mother's house. I don't care.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, how fucking retarded do you have to be to think of that and be like, yeah, that's gonna work, bro. That's gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hell, bro. This guy's such a fucking
Tell
retard.
the judge you can suck my... I'll bring a fish to your mother's house. I don't care.
The judge, prosecutor, y'all can suck my...
Is there anything you want to say? Don't you want to apologize?
I love North. Hey, send this clip to the president.
Wait. Did he say he loves North Korea, bro? There's no way, bro. Homie trolled that bad.
Don't you want to apologize?
I love North. Hey, send.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna try and see if I can find the original clip, bro. I need to know. Did he say he loves North Korea? Because if so, that's wild. Right, I can't seem to find the clip, bro. I'll have a look for it when I edit the video as well. But
Is there
I can't
anything
seem
you want to
find
say?
it.
Don't you want to apologize?
I love North. Hey, send this clip to the president of Korea. Send this clip. I'm talking to you, the president of Korea. You can suck my... I respect Kim Jong-un more than you, Lee Jae-myung, little...
If you're...
I'm sure that's gonna work out amazing for you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're on the right path, I see. He's got that game plan, bro. Why the fuck would you even say something like that, bro? Jesus Christ, bro. It's such a fucking retard.
Facing over a decade in prison in a foreign country, why would you ever curse out the judge, the judge's family, and the president of the country you're currently stuck in? Then, of course, he showed up hungover to his first trial almost an hour late, and then continued to openly lie in court. So I guess his genius legal strategy was to do all of that and claim he had bipolar disorder like it was some sort of like Monopoly get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
and just a few days, he even had his mom write the judge a letter. And what's so crazy about all this is towards the end of the trial, he thought he was doing a great job. He thought he gained a massive win by settling one of the charges. So essentially, he thought that one of the deepfake charges were thrown out. And to be honest, all of us did. And I covered this in one of my
Oh
videos
yeah,
in October of
not
2025.
the bong bong, the guy, the defect with the guy. What was his name? It wasn't bong bong. Fuck, bong bong was the female. It was the other guy because he got sent to prison for rioting or some wild shit like that, and then they kind of agreed to drop the he agreed to drop Johnny's defect charges, and then Johnny agreed to drop the lawsuit or the charges that he had against him, something like that. But it was never official. Like they kind of shook hands type shit, you know. And Johnny's lawyer said, yeah, that shit was dropped. Like, you know, they agreed and they dropped that shit, but the court never officially cleared that out.
Because him and Youngman, they went to court in a separate case to settle and decide not to press charges on each other. This was a massive favor by Hank for Johnny, because Hank, you know, he's the guy who was letting Johnny live with him for over a year pretty much. And Hank could actually help Johnny here because the deepfake itself was of Hank and Youngman being intimate with each other. And Johnny showed this clip on his stream laughing at it, and Youngman also showed the same clip on his stream reacting to it in shock. So both of them technically distributed it. And that's what that separate court hearing was about. Essentially, they made an agreement. If Youngman stopped pressing charges on Johnny, Hank would also do the same to him. So in their agreement, both of them dropped the charges. And Johnny heavily celebrated this. He went on a whole victory lap.
You go look at the comments in this video, Atosi tried to frame it like I lost in the last court date when I got a charge dismissed. So where's the loss? Tell me, guys.
He even called me out for saying that I thought it was going to happen. And I mean, I even said that the charges were dropped because I thought the charges were going to be dropped. But the problem is both the prosecutors have to agree to drop the charges.
Yeah,
and
it was never
clearly,
official.
They didn't. Because Youngman was recently sentenced and he was charged for that exact deepfake incident that they agreed on dropping. And now we know the prosecutor in Johnny's case didn't drop that deepfake charge either. So what Johnny thought was a massive win turned out to just be a massive waste of time. And I've flown out to South Korea now 4 times. Yeah, this is my 4th time here now. And the whole thing is such a massive train wreck. Johnny seems to, for some reason, care more about the angles other live streamers get of him than the reality of his own actions.
Seems to be no hype behind this trial. I mean, absolutely nobody's here. Johnny wants me to be a cellmate. I know, right? I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Just roll your window down when you're coming by if you want me to get a good shot.
And the dude is so arrogant.
I mean,
that he thinks
the
that
thing
Trump
is, right? I feel like no matter how retarded you are, I think at one point, even you realize that. I feel like even Johnny Somali realized that he was fucked. Like, he was not getting out of this one for free, bro. So I feel like at that point he went to like, oh bro, just, you know, just farm some cloud off my name, you know, maybe when I get out I can, you know, I can get back to streaming or some shit, you know, and have some more cloud. But I feel like that's the approach that he took. Because I mean, honestly, bro, like there has to be a point where no matter how retarded you are, you kind of have to understand that you're fucked, right? But then again, we're talking about Johnny Somali, so that's kind of a low probability. But I would say probably even he realized that he was fucked, and he just tried to farm as much clout of him, you know, of his case and all of his trial and all that shit. You know what I mean, to keep himself relevant. And when he gets out, he's probably planning to try and get back to streaming one way or another.
Going to save him, despite apparently the U.S. Embassy told him that they want nothing to do with him.
If Trump saved Tate, Trump gonna save me, bro. Come on, Donald gonna come save it, bro. Come on, he gonna put some tariffs on these Trump. I'm telling you, Donald J. Trump, please. I'm an American citizen. I am being held hostage.
And all of this brings us to right here, right now. April of 2026. The prosecution is officially recommending.
You know, America is celebrating every day that this clown went to South Korea and just got himself in so much trouble. And even Trump is like watching that shit is like, nah, we're not bringing this one back. He can stay there for free.
3 years of hard prison labor and 5 years on the S offender registry here in South Korea.
Oh, 5 years on the S offender, bro. Damn. Shit, bro. But here's the thing, right? Like I got 2 main questions. Number one, is it is it 5 years starting from the day he got sentenced or from the day he gets out of prison? Because you see, if it's from the day he got sentenced, then in reality, he will only be on the S offender registry for 2 years. Because, he will spend 3 years in jail anyway, so he won't be able to interact with the public anyway, right? So I feel like it'll be smarter for them to start the S offender sentence as soon as he gets out of jail. But then my second question is, when he gets out of jail, is he getting deported immediately, or is he going to have to sit there until all of his sentences are done and like he gets cleared of the of the S registry? You know what I mean? Because if not, like, he can, pardon me, that S offender register. The S offender charge, it won't mean jack shit if he can just dip the fuck out and he won't be carrying it with him, you know what I mean? Whereas if it starts as soon as he gets freed out of prison and then he's forced to spend another 5 years in South Korea just to clear out that S offender registry, then that's gonna be, that'll be like a better punishment, right? Because all in all, it will technically be like 8 years, right? Like three in prison, 5 outside, but severely fucked. You know what I mean? So like even the freedom is not gonna be that much better. And knowing Johnny Somali, bro, after those 3 years, he's gonna get out of jail and he's gonna repeat the same stupid fucking mistakes and get himself back in prison, and it will be a satisfying loop where he can't escape South Korea and he can't keep his freedom because he's too retarded to realize that he needs to stop acting out, stop being such a fucking crash dummy, and just take his life seriously. At least a little bit, bro. At least keep yourself out of prison, man, and trying to get yourself out of South Korea, man. But yeah, I as much as we can hope that he might change in prison. I doubt that, bro. I'm gonna be real. I doubt that's gonna happen.
Is for the deepfake charges. If he does get the max sentences stacked on top of each other, he's currently facing 12 and a half years in prison. And it's safe to say the dude hasn't given the judge a single reason to go easy on him. The judge makes their final ruling now on April 15th, which we're approaching very fast because it's April 14th as of recording this commentary bit right here.
Yeah, all right. So,
all right, good morning. So we're now headed to the final trial day for Johnny Somali. It is sentencing day, and a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen because you have a pretty wide range of things. Most of the legal professionals that we've talked to here, they're thinking that he's going to get in the ballpark of what the prosecution was asking for, up by 25% or down by 25%. But we did hear from someone who I guess has been convicted several times here in South Korea.
So it'd be like, wait, hold on. So in that case, would that mean like it would be like they recommend like 3 years and then it'll be like up 25%? So like 3 years plus 25%, or it'll be like, or how exactly? Like I'm trying to understand how exactly it works.
Who I guess
we'll find out.
Convicted several times here in South Korea, and he's thinking that most likely he'll get by 25%.
My bad. I paused at the worst
of what the prosecution was asking for, up by 25% or down by 25%. Right. But we did hear from someone who I guess has been convicted several times here in South Korea, and he's thinking that most likely he'll get a slap on the wrist or some type of probation and would be allowed to leave Korea. So who knows?
And in the morning of the trial, Johnny decided to upload this poll where he was trying to get his community to vote on if they think
the fact that, bro, the fact that you're running a poll, like, are you genuinely like, no, bro, he has to be trolling. Like, I think he knows he's going to prison, bro. There's no way you have any doubts whether or not you're going to fucking prison, bro. Are you serious? Also, the top comment, have you thought about what prison job you want? Scrubbing the toilets, mopping the floors, making license plates, moving boxes. I'm guessing in the warehouse. I'm guessing that's supposed to mean. Bro, honestly, yeah, that's the poll. Yo, Johnny Somali, you fucked yourself over, bro. The poll shouldn't have been whether you're going to prison or not. The poll should have been what job you should work in prison.
he was actually going to prison or not. And obviously the comments of that were just people roasting him. Here we are.
Rightfully so, bro. Deserved.
Outside of the courthouse.
Hell
It'll be
yeah.
interesting. All right, walking into the trial. They have the news posted up, so they're gonna get some angles.
American live streamer Johnny Somali, who had caused an uproar in South Korea with his outrageous acts, such as kissing the Statue of Peace, was sentenced to 6 months in prison.
All right, so
Homie packed his loot.
Kissing the Statue of Peace.
Homie packed his loot and he's taking that bag with him to the prison cell, bro. He already knew he was cooked, bro. He was like, well, might as well pack my shit and take it with me.
Was sentenced to 6 months in prison.
all right, so we just got out of court and he received a guilty verdict. It was guilty.
Hell yeah!
Yes, we got
Yo, legal mindset, let's go! Wait, he received a guilty verdict. Did he say how long
Out of
ago?
court,
Maria?
and he received a guilty verdict. It was guilty.
Yes, we got him, boys. We got him.
So
Hell yeah.
that was interesting. This time, when he walked in, it was kind of like he saw a ghost. Like, he didn't give anyone eye contact, sat down, he's looked extremely stressed, and that was it, really. And then it went way faster than what I was expected, because he was the first one called up. He was called up on the stand, and the judge asked him, is there any reason for why you should not go to prison? And he said, because he had family at home, and he misses them, and that was his reasoning, and that he was...
Come on, man, bro. He can't stop fucking himself over, bro. I feel like Johnny Somali has a fucking embarrassment fetish, bro. Yo, is there any good reason you should not go to prison for all the crimes that you did? Well, you know, I miss my mom. Like, you know, I would like to go. I would like to go visit her. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Bro, he would have had more chances of probably getting away, like getting no prison time, or like very, very little prison time, like maybe a couple of months like he had in Japan, if he actually at the bare minimum pretended to apologize, be like, I realized I fucked up, like, you know, I would like to, you know, I would like to just eliminate myself from this community by you know, going back to my home country and never returning, you know, because I'm very ashamed of my actions. I regret every day what I did. You know what I mean? Like, at least pretend that you give a shit about it, bro. But honestly, he has to have known that he was fucked anyway. So it's probably like, I don't know, bro. But even then, it's like, even if you know you're fucked, right? Like, don't you want to give yourself the best odds possible? Like, why the fuck wouldn't you at least pretend to give a shit about what you did, man? Why the fuck would you just go like, also, sorry, legal mindset.
And the judge asked him, is there any reason for why you should not go to prison? And he said, because he had family at home and he misses them, and that was his reasoning, and that he was a student at ASU apparently. But
wait, what? Bro, biggest cap of the year, my guy. What the fuck do you mean he was a student, bro? What, in fucking kindergarten or what, bro?
For why you should not go to prison. And he said, because he had family at home and he misses them, and that was his reasoning, and that he was a student at ASU apparently. But
what is ASU? Hold on, let me pause the video and have a look what ASU is. Okay, right. Sorry, I have F12 as pause and unpause. I kind of picked the wrong keybind. So from what I'm seeing, ASU could either be in the Arizona State University, or because apparently it looks like they're doing some kind of courses and shit in South Korea as well. Arizona State University. Yeah, okay, so then he might have like he might, I'm guessing this is what he was trying to say, like he's studying, you know, with like a study, like he's there with a study visa type shit, which we all know that shit cap, bro. You know that judge looked at him and just burst out laughing, bro. Like there's no way, bro. Nobody believes you, bro. You're too retarded for that. Like I said, best case scenario, you're studying at a fucking kindergarten, and even there, you fail.
At the end of the day, the judge gave him his prison sentence with labor, so he ended up getting 6 months of prison with labor.
Plus 20 days.
Plus 20 days. And
what? Wait, what? No. 6 months? Bro, what? What the fuck, man? That's even worse than the 3 years I heard earlier. I think I must heard it earlier or something like that. Cause they mentioned something about 3 years. What the fuck? 6 months? What the fuck? Bro, that shit is shit, man. God damn, what the fuck? That is so little for how disrespectful he was to the country, bro. And for all the crimes that he committed, and not only that, like he did himself no fucking favors at all, man. Like even after his trial started, he just kept being disrespectful and just being a piece of shit to everyone. 6 months, bro? There's no way, bro. There must be some other sentence on top of this. Like that might just be like 6 months for one thing.
But at the end of the day, the judge gave him his prison sentence with labor. So he ended up getting 6 months of prison with labor.
Plus 20 days.
Plus 20 days. And
plus 20 days? 20 days for what? To jack off or what?
Months of prison with labor.
Plus 20 days.
Plus 20 days. And did he say any fines or anything like that?
The 20 days is probably instead of the fines. So 20 days detention is different from prison with labor. So that's for the minor offenses act instead of a fine.
Is there anything else I missed?
I think you nailed it. But the 6 months bottom line.
Yeah.
And the reason that it's reduced so much is because they did not perceive the damage from the deepfakes to be as serious as,
what was expected. Yeah.
They balanced it out.
Yeah.
And then he was given like a ban for like going to places with women and children for 5 years or something like that.
Correct. That's about offender status. So that's connected with the deepfake, right? So he's got to go register as a sex offender because it's a sexual crime. So he's got to stay away from places involving women and children, just like in the U.S. where you stay away from playgrounds and daycares and stuff like that.
And this will affect the type of labor that he'll be doing, just like the prosecutor wanted.
So what do you think the most likely labor he'll be doing?
Factory labor.
I don't know, but the important thing that that the judge pointed out is that they have been monitoring his YouTube, including what he's been doing in the past.
They got him. They got him. But even then, bro, what the fuck? Only 6 months? That's fucking nothing, bro. Talk about a fucking slap on the wrist, man. What the fuck is this bullshit, man? They need to bring that shit back and like, hold on, bro. I think we fucked up only 6 months. Like, we need to double check that bitch. What the fuck? 6 months? That's nothing, bro. For the amount of damage and not only to like places and the disrespect that he caused, but also damage to the reputation to South Korea, the reputation of South Korea, bro. 6 months is fucking nothing, man. What the fuck? That is so ass, bro. Like they royally fucked up, bro. They have royally fucked up on that one. And also, it's crazy to me something, right? Because this guy said, the guy in black, I don't know his name, but he said that he's got so low because the deepfake charges, they were deemed not to be serious enough. Number one, to me, it doesn't make sense because you're saying, yeah, the deepfakes were not like serious enough, but then you make him register as an S offender, right? Which already to me it doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand how that works. Like say for example, you were to commit some like fuck shit, right? Like if you commit some like fuck shit, there is no way that they can be like, yeah, I will drop this charge, but we'll just make him register on the offender. No, bro. Like you need to be found guilty of that, and then you're forced to register on the S offender list. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like a fucking spin the bottle and see what you get game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not how that works. At least in my country, like it's in my country, it works nothing like that. Like you know what I mean? Because in my country, right, for Johnny Somali's situation, right, if say all of this happened in my country instead, right, and he went to prison, it went to trial. If they dropped the deep fake charges, they would not be able to make him register on the S offender registry. Because they need to have that, like they need to have at least one of those deep fake charges like he needs to be found on at least one of those deepfake charges guilty to be able to say that he is dangerous and he needs to register on the S offender, right? So that's why one is really weird to me, and number two is it's another thing. The guy that he was fighting, not Bong Bong, fuck man, Yumong. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, bro. Like a dead ass. Like I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but like Yun Mong, I think is his name. Like he got fucked over. Like he got charged with those deepfakes, right? Like he got fucked over and he got charged with those deepfakes, and somehow Johnny dodged that bullet, which makes no sense because it's like. Because they agree with each other to drop the charges and be like, yo, I'm not going to charge you. Or sorry, not Johnny Somali in particular, but Hank or Frank or whatever his friend's name was, right? He was like, yo, I'm not going to charge you for the deepfakes, but you got to also drop the charges against Johnny Somali. And they were like, yeah. And they agreed on it. But the court never officially cleared it. But then they fucked over Yun Mong for the deepfake, and they let Johnny Somali go without getting fucked over by the deepfakes. You see what I mean? Like to me, it's strange. Like I don't understand. I sincerely fucking doubt I got any South Korean viewers. But if I do, please enlighten us, because I don't understand how this works, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that doesn't understand this. So yo, if you could enlighten us, that would be legendary. Please explain to us, because to us it doesn't make any sense, right? It just doesn't add up. Like something is weird to me. Like it doesn't make sense being put on the S offender registry without being found guilty of a crime that would fit within that category, right? Because he got found guilty for the minor property damage or minor criminal stuff, right? Like the petty shit, right? And he also got found for the obstruction. What was it? Obstruction? No obstruction. What was it? So he got interference of business, right? He got found guilty on these four, and he also got found guilty on the Minor Crimes Act, right? And somehow he's doing fine, like in the sense that like he dodged these completely. Arguably the worst two, he dodged them completely. And somehow he's still made to be put on the S offender registry. Like, why is that? Is it possibly because of like the disrespect that he showed towards the statues? I mean, it's a wild throw. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. You never know. Like, but because otherwise, like, I can't understand. Like, in my country, this will not make any sense. Like, this will be a retarded ruling. You're either found guilty on the SVCs and then you get put on the S offenders, or you're found not guilty of the SVCs and you're not put on the S offender. It's no in between, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's just move on, man.
6 months of prison with labor.
Still, bro, it's such a
days.
disappointment.
And,
6 months.
Did he say any
not long
fines
enough
or anything like that?
The 20 days is probably instead of the fines. So 20 days detention is different from prison with labor. So that's for the Minor Offenses Act instead of a fine.
Is there anything else I missed?
I think you nailed it. But the 6 months bottom line.
Yeah.
And the reason that it's reduced so much is because they did not perceive the damage from the deepfakes to be as serious as
what was expected. Yeah,
they balanced it out.
Yeah.
And then he was given like a ban for like going to places with women and children for 5 years or something like that.
Correct. That's about offender status. So that's connected with the deepfake, right? So he's got to go register as a sex offender because it's a sexual crime. So he's got to stay away from places involving women and children, just like in the U.S. where you stay away from playgrounds and daycares and stuff like that.
And this will affect the type of labor that he'll be doing, just like the prosecutor wanted.
So what do you think the most likely labor labor he'll be doing.
Factory labor.
I don't know, but the important thing that that the judge pointed out is that they have been monitoring his YouTube, including what he's been doing in the past few weeks.
Right.
And that has had an effect on their decision.
And of course, he lied and said he hadn't committed any crimes during the course of the trial, which we've documented, showed, even filed the child sexual harassment charges, which were during the pendency of the trial.
And then when they asked if there's any reason he should not be detained immediately, like he's going to serve the sentence, but the question is, do they take him away right now, or do they do it later? Issue an arrest warrant. Well, so those are the issues. His reasoning, he was allowed the opportunity to speak, to advocate for himself, and his reasoning was, I miss my family. Yeah. Which does not sound very convincing as far as an argument against him being a flight risk.
Yeah, exactly. It's like such a retarded explanation. It's like, so why should you not be arrested on the spot? I miss my family. All right, put him in jail right now. You just fucking pull on. They definitely pulled on Uncle Ruckus on him, bro. As soon as he said that shit, it's like, he's guilty. Sir, you gotta go deliberate. Nah, I can see it in his eyes. I know he guilty. Or it was something like that.
Does not sound very convincing as far as an argument against him being a flight risk.
The judge did not care.
Yeah.
And from what I saw, his mother was not there. A lot of people were speculating online that his mom was going to show up, but I didn't see her there.
No Hank.
She was not there.
Hank was not there either.
Oh, your homie left you out in the dust like that, bro? Oh, he's probably went home with your mother, bro. bang that stuff right quick, bro. Let's hopefully not make another Johnny Somali, bro. We don't need a second one on this planet. One is already one more than enough. Okay, anyway, fucking hell, man. I mean, listen, if I was his fucking parents, I would not show up either, bro. Like, I'll be like, I'm disowning you, bro. You're not even my son anymore, bro. I don't even know what the fuck you are. Like, you claim, you know, it's just maybe a coinky dinky that we have a similar family name, but we're not related, bro. Like, get the fuck out of my life, bro. You're such a disappointment.
Yeah.
Which does not sound very convincing as far as an argument against him being a flight risk.
Generationally ruined his family name.
From what I saw, his mother was not there. A lot of people were speculating online that his mom was going to show up, but I didn't see her there.
No Hank.
She was not there.
Hank was not there either.
And
so
at the very end, he was escorted out of the room, not through the front door that he came in, but through the side door, which is where he was going to go. He did have a full backpack, which means he knew that he was expecting the possibility. A packed full backpack.
Yeah.
And he was wearing an Israel and USA pin, which...
What the fuck? What the fuck what was he like hoping he'll pull a fucking MVP and just by rocking the two badges he'll be immune to being arrested, or what? Like, that's just wild. What the fuck? That's so random,
full backpack,
bro.
Which means he knew that he was expecting the possibility. A packed full backpack.
Yeah.
And he was wearing an Israel and USA pin, which... no keep though.
No keep. Oh boy. So after that, he was taken to the back room. Was he handcuffed there?
Yeah.
He was shot. No, unfortunately, no. Although we all wish that was the reality of things.
He was handcuffed in the back room. Searched.
Wait. Did you just say he was handcuffed in the bathroom, bro? Like, homie got freaking dicky?
Which? no keep though.
No keep. Oh boy. So after that, he was taken to the back room. Was he handcuffed there?
Yeah. He was handcuffed in the back room. Searched and
I think he was trying to say the back room, not bathroom. Damn, bro. Homie, not even 5 minutes in jail and you're already getting fruity, bro.
They're gonna bring him out right here.
But also, regardless of what happens, you also have an appeal process here in Korea. So let's say if Johnny gets a slap on the wrist, the prosecutor has 7 days to appeal. And apparently they can appeal 2 to 3 times here. So let's say they give him a slap on the wrist. He can't leave for another 7 days. If the prosecutor decides to appeal this, he has to go through trial again. And apparently,
I see. Because I was thinking, like, I mean, you gotta be like even more retarded than Johnny Somali to try to appeal your light ass sentence. You're talking about a prosecution, though. Oh man, now we're talking. Please give us the good news. Please tell us that the prosecution is planning to appeal this and give him a bigger sentence
for another 7 days. If the prosecutor decides to appeal this, he has to go through trial again. And apparently that can repeat a few times. Or if they throw the book at Johnny, Johnny also has the right to appeal as well.
So it's been a few hours since we got out of the trial. So we went to a study room and we've been working on the video right now. But Gabe found some interesting information about the appeal process, because if you guys did watch my live stream right after the trial, my Wi-Fi dropped about 9.5 minutes in. So the last 3 or 4 minutes of the stream was never there. So that was very unfortunate, but now I'm going to update you guys about what we said before the internet dropped. So essentially, you found out more information on how the appeal process worked.
Right.
So let's say if Johnny, he got a 6-month sentence, but if...
Wait, hold on. Is that just like him being,
let's say if
saying that
Johnny,
he got 6 months?
he got a...
American YouTuber Somali who was sentenced to 6 months in prison by Seoul court on Wednesday for a string of offenses. Okay,
a 6-month sentence, but if he...
Did I say that right? Like, is it Seoul? How do you say that? Like, Seoul? Genuinely curious. Like, let me know in the comments.
Appeals, or if the prosecutor appeals and the new trial takes longer than 6 months, what happens then?
So if the prosecutor appeals, which the prosecutor can appeal if they're not satisfied with the sentencing, they will continue the trial. And
under the Criminal Procedure Act, the defendant can be held in custody for up to 6 months during the first trial. If the case moves through appeals, possibly as far as the Supreme Court, detention may be extended by an additional 4 to 6 months at each level, bringing the total possible period of custody to roughly 14 to 18 months. Oh, damn.
Takes longer than 6 months. What happens then?
So if the prosecutor appeals, which the prosecutor can appeal if they're not satisfied with the sentencing, they will continue the trial. And if it goes beyond 6 months, he stays in prison as if he's in detention during trial.
Wow.
So say it goes on for 9 months, he stays in the prison for those extra 3 months. And then say at the end of that process, they tack on an extra 6 months, then they will subtract that from the time served, and he will do another 3 months in prison. So that's what it would look like. Now, if it goes on for a long time, which is very rare for an appeal to take that long, but there is a limit of additional time. So if, say it goes on for a year, after another 4 to 6 months, they will let him out and they will continue the appeal trial. But then if it goes another level, say to the Supreme Court, he goes right back in.
What do you think the over-under is that the prosecutor appeals this?
Well, I think it's very interesting that the Korean press has been referring to this trial as the end of the first.
Under the Criminal Procedure Act, a defendant can be held in custody for up to 6 months during the first trial.
Trial. They're not calling it the end, referring to this trial as the end of the first trial. They're not calling it the end of the trial.
That's interesting.
It's very common in these articles for them to call it the first trial. So there's a perception and maybe an assumption that the prosecutor will be appealing.
Wednesday's sentence fell short of prosecutors' request for a 3-year prison term. So they, okay. Now I understand. So basically, the prosecution wanted 3 years, but he somehow got 6 months. Like, okay, I see. They're definitely gonna appeal. Like, I would assume so. Anyway, I would think that they would appeal that, especially if they wanted 3 years minimum, and they got like not even close to that. They got 6 months.
That was actually less than a third of what the prosecutor had asked for.
20% of what the prosecutor asked for.
Exactly. I have here in the Korea Herald, the prosecutor's office was contacted for comment on a possible appeal, but they haven't responded as of press time.
Interesting.
And then, they state here, under the Criminal Procedure Act, a defendant can be held in custody for up to 6 months during the first trial. So if it takes 6 months, then they can hold him for another 6 months. If the case moves through appeals, as far as the Supreme Court, detention may be extended by additional 4 to 6 months at each level, bringing the total possible period of custody to roughly 14 to 18 months. So it could even result in a lengthy trial where he gets more time than the prosecutor wanted.
And when it's appealed, it doesn't go in front of the same judge then, right?
That's right. It goes before a panel of 3 judges. So because this is sort of escalated, think of it as an escalation. They're going to need more minds, and they're going to need the 3 of those judges to come to a consensus. And usually they come to a unanimous consensus, but sometimes they have to really do a compromise. Like there may be one judge that really wants to let the guy go, and quit, but the other two really want like the maximum punishment, so they'll find some middle ground. But usually they're able to find a consensus.
So if an appeal goes through, that would then become very expensive for Johnny because either he gets a public defender or he has to hire a new attorney on the
I think he would have no choice but to get a public defender. He would need a major like almost support network, and he doesn't even have a network of one at this point, of one person at this point.
Because Hank is no longer supporting him.
That's correct. You would need to have that support from outside because it takes work.
Yeah.
Same is true with the public defender, right? With the public defender, at least the public defender will do their job, but they're gonna do the absolute minimum.
Right.
So it would not be looking very good. I mean, I don't think it would be a strong case anyway, but that would be the way to go. I call it a free lottery ticket because anybody can appeal, and it's not like in the United States where they can reject it.
Right.
If he decides to appeal, it goes to trial.
Interesting.
Your chances of winning are the same as a lottery ticket, so it's a free lottery ticket.
Well, thank you so much, Gabe, for all of the help throughout the entire trial process. He goes as Culture Brad on YouTube. I'll be linking it down below. He's building this massive documentary on Johnny Somali, and he's released a few clips teasing that documentary on his channel, so definitely recommend checking that out. Yeah.
And look, I cover stupid things that happen on the internet for a living, and this has gone so far past just stupid that it's just straight up pathetic. Because for years, the dude thought that just being a burden to society was some sort of weird money glitch, because essentially he was just weaponizing the politeness of polite societies over here in Asia. And Johnny pushed the envelope as far as he could possibly go. But in reality, it seems like things are catching up to him. Because in the long run, you can't expect to just harass people for stream donations and expect to not get any consequences. Regardless though, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And thank you so much to GamerSubs for helping me and my team members actually go to South Korea multiple times to cover all this. So if you do want to support the channel, you can go to gamersubs.gg/Atozy. And that gives you 10% off anything on the store because they have the best sugar-free beverages out there. And if you don't believe me, you can get a free one.
Right, stop, man. Stop. All right, thank you. All right, Jesus Christ, man. Fuck, man. That was definitely a video and a half, huh? Honestly, what a fucking blue ball, bro. We definitely got fucking blue balled hella hard, bro. Only 6 months, bro. That's embarrassing, man. However, the prosecution can appeal it multiple times too, which is crazy. So it's gonna be interesting to see if the prosecution actually appeals it and they try to go for a more extreme sentence. I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? But we don't know that for sure just yet. So I'll keep an eye out. If it's any more updates on this, I'll make a video on it. But as of right now, Johnny Somali somehow got away with a slap on the wrist of just 6 months in prison, labor prison, which, I mean, honestly, you know, it gives him something to do, right? So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah. But yeah, with that being said, man, I don't know, man. I genuinely I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Holy shit, a fucking hour-long video, man. Oh, I mean, fuck, it was hella worth it, man. Like, you know, it was definitely something I wanted to react to. Fuck, man. Honestly, I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. Like, let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys think that Johnny should have gotten a longer prison sentence? Do you guys think that the 6 months is fair, or do you think that even though the prison sentence that he got is hella short, it's better than nothing? I guess, like, you know what I mean, we'd be like, he definitely would have deserved. He definitely deserves a longer sentence, but at the end of the day, he at least got sentenced, and he's doing some prison time, and you know, I'm kind of happy with that type of thing. Because I'm genuinely curious. Like, I don't know. I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys think about this. I would like to know what you guys think about this. But yeah, man. As always, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I already mentioned the commenting, so yeah, drop a comment. Also, don't forget to go follow Atozy. Go subscribe to him. Drop him a like. Drop him a sub. Leave him a nice comment. But yeah, man. With that being said, I've been Antidota, and I shall see you in the next episode. Peace out.